What it is, YouTube, man? It's your boy TJ. Maybe we got to the Baltimore Ravens offensive evil. Boy, these niggas is that. Boy, I swear to God, boy, y'all got Lamar, Garrett Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Zay, Bateman, Likely, Andrew. Don't forget about Justice Hill, too. Justice Hill underrated, too. Ravens fans, y'all know about Justice Hill. I ain't got to say too much. But yeah, man, let's get into the video. And don't let me get started on the defense. Boy, y'all defense is stacked. Boy, y'all got Jair on defense. Y'all got Marlin on the other side. Y'all got Starks, Hamilton as y'all safeties, probably the best safety duo in the NFL, if you ask me. Roquan in the middle. You got Simpson. You got Matty BK. You got Kyle Hamilton. You got Mike Green. Oh my God, boy. Boy, that defense nasty, boy. Then you got niggas like Gino, like people like that. But damn, well, I can't wait for this season. But let's get into the video, man.
Of playoff disappointment, the Baltimore Ravens are reaching a
Y'all
breaking
team ain't gonna
point.
get no better than this.
We can all picture Sundays in our minds. The rituals, the routines, the feel of football in the air. But not every game plays out like the script in our head.
The fans, players, and coaching staff can only take so much heartbreak before things fall apart. So in the 2025 offseason, the Ravens have continued to build out a stacked roster in the way they know best. But regular season success will no longer cut it. With superstars now entering contract
Let the
years
nigga
and
Jair
Lamar
go to the
Jackson's
Ravens.
legacy on the line, 2025 has to be the year. And because of the things we're gonna go over in this video today is exactly why the Baltimore Ravens are going all in. Now, if there's
That
an
Super Bowl
NFL
the bust for
franchise that
y'all
has
boys for sure.
exemplified stability since it came, well, into the NFL and was made, it would be the Baltimore Ravens. Since being established in 1996, the Ravens have had just 3 head coaches and 2 GMs in the past 29 years. They haven't just stuck with their guys out of habit. Baltimore has seen 4 AFC Championship game appearances and 2 Super Bowls in that time span. And look, straight up, if the Baltimore Ravens want to try and win another Lombardi, well, then they're gonna have to start by addressing the biggest issue that they've had in recent years. It's choking in the postseason, and well, the ways that they've done to combat that and make sure.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like Lamar, like if y'all get to Lamar in the regular season, transfer to the playoffs, I ain't gonna be fucked with it. But y'all do all this in the regular season, but get to the playoffs and choke every time. I don't know, man. Y'all, hopefully this shit change. Like it should, but y'all the best team in the league to me. Y'all the best team. Y'all the Super Bowl favorites to me. I don't see nobody mess with y'all, honestly.
Hopefully that doesn't keep happening is they've tried to tie down some of their most important pieces heading into the 2025 season. Head coach John Harbaugh, who brought the Ravens back to glory in 2013, was entering the final year of his contract in 2025. So general manager Eric DeCosta's first order of business was signing Harbaugh to a 3-year extension that will keep him in Maryland until 2028. Up to this point too, Harbaugh has finished 12 of his 16 seasons as a head coach with a winning record, with the 3rd most wins among active NFL head coaches. And yes, of course, wins have been a lot easier to come by since the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson has come into the backfield in 2018. The Ravens have made the playoffs in 6 of these 7 seasons with Jackson on the roster, who, like Harbaugh, is tied to the franchise until 2028 and forms another chunk of the bedrock for this team. Lamar's heroics this past season almost earned him a 2nd consecutive MVP in 2024, but as we all know, the award ultimately went to the man who did down the Ravens in the postseason.
I ain't gonna lie, L deserved that MVP. I feel like the NFL gave Josh Allen that MVP because L already won too, and Josh Allen didn't win no award. So we probably like, all right, we finna get Allen this one. But to me, L should have won that MVP. He had a way better season. I don't care. He had a way better season than Josh Allen, bro. I don't care, bro. And I know other people feel like that too. Josh Allen is a good player though. But L had a better season.
And speaking of the 2024 playoffs too, following a comprehensive 28-14 win over the wildcard Steelers, Baltimore made the trek up to Buffalo in hopes of advancing to the conference championship game where they could get revenge on the Chiefs. Instead though, they were stopped in their tracks by the Bills in yet another disappointing postseason performance from Lamar and company. And now that's kind of been the challenging point, is trying to
Tylenol Precise with maximum strength lidocaine penetrates to the nerves and numbs away pain.
Accurately diagnose why the Ravens haven't been able to have great postseason success recently. Whether it's an individual error or simply a mental hurdle they're yet to clear, GM Eric DeCosta and his front office have gone to great lengths to prove that this year, more than any other, they're going all out to reach the Super Bowl. The first move this offseason was securing all-pro left tackle Ronnie Staley for the next 3 years on a deal worth a total of $60 million. While not quite as flashy either, they also signed Cooper Rush as a reliable backup for Lamar in the case of injury. More smart business from the Ravens. Then, just a matter of days after investing heavily in their offensive line, Baltimore made the move that perhaps just most signals of their win now mentality. DeAndre Hopkins signed a 1-year, $5 million deal, bringing with
Hey, y'all let me know y'all how many yards I think D-Hop won't get. To me, I think he's gonna get like 500, 600. Cause you gotta think about it, bro. They y'all number one option. To me, I feel like y'all number one option Bateman based off last year. Bateman was really y'all number one receiver last year. Do your homework on that. But yeah, y'all got Zay, Bateman, Mark Andrews. So D-Hop really like the fourth, fifth option. Really think about it. So I ain't gonna be delusional and say D-Hop won't have 1,000 yards. He might, I ain't gonna say it. I don't think so, but he gonna have about 500, 600 yards, probably 4 to 5 touchdowns.
A player profile that Ravens fans
gonna make some
may
plays
be
for y'all
wary
for
of.
sure.
Veteran receivers coming in on a 1-year deal haven't exactly set the world alight in MT Bank Stadium. The likes of OBJ and Deshaun Jackson have both been recruited as a safe pair of hands for Lamar
OBJ
to
was
throw
kind of
to
nice for the
in
Ravens.
recent
Injuries
years, but
killed
neither
him,
was
though.
able to take the franchise any closer to the promised land. And yes, you could argue that Hopkins is coming in with a little bit more in the tank than what OBJ and Deshaun Jackson still had left. In 2023, as we know, Hopkins had a 1,000 yards, 7 touchdown season while catching
With
passes
Mayo.
from Will Levis. Although his 2024 was largely inconsistent, he should be productive in a much more stable situation in Baltimore. And look, we all do have eyes. Hopkins is nowhere near the player he was in his prime, but even if he isn't a 1,000
Yeah, we know Hopkins ain't the same player he was with Texans and Watson, but you gotta think about it. At the end of the day, nigga, it's still D-Hop, bro. It's still, that's what people fail to realize, nigga. It's still D-Hop, nigga.
yard wide receiver in 2025, his role as a mentor for this young, exciting receiver core could be equally important. Reports coming out of OTAs have praised DeAndre Hopkins for the guidance and advice he's already providing his new teammates with. Lamar's favorite target, though, for last season was Zay Flowers in only his year 3.
God.
Sure, his Pro Bowl effort in 2024
Bye-bye.
was solid, but there's still
I
plenty
can't
of
believe
room
he
for
only got 4
Flowers to
touchdowns
grow. His
last year,
4
though. That's
receiving
crazy.
touchdowns suggest he stands to improve
They
as
just
a red
said.
zone threat, which has been Hopkins' calling
my
card
God.
throughout his career. By contrast, though, the Ravens wide receiver 2, Rashad Bateman, had no issues finding the end zone in 2024 with 9
Bateman was
touchdowns
going
to his
off
name.
last
He was
year.
rewarded for his contributions this offseason as well, signing a 3-year, $36.5 million extension in June. With his future
Yeah,
now
I'm saying he
assured,
was
the
really our number
25-year-old
one
can
last year.
continue to hone his craft and will only get better as he enters the prime of his career with a veteran like Hopkins at his side. Beyond the wide receivers, though, we all know how heavily the Ravens did rely on their tight end game. Mark Andrews is, of course, the headliner as the franchise
Andrews
leader in
and Lightning.
receiving touchdowns enters the final year of his contract, age 29. Andrews had been considered Baltimore's most reliable offensive weapon for years. However, a costly drop on a 2-point conversion against Buffalo left a bitter
Hey,
taste.
before we get started with this, I know y'all was blaming Andrews. I was blaming him too. I ain't even a Ravens fan, but I was watching the game, made me mad he dropped it. Because, like, in a critical moment, you won't drop passes like that, but especially from a person that coming from you, one of the best tight ends in the league. And that's crazy, though, but it happened. But you got to think about it, though. Like, if Eldon had that shitty first half, bro, you wouldn't even be in the predicament. Why Andrews even dropped the ball in the first place? See what I'm saying?
And Ravens fans'
So you really
mouths.
can't blame it all on Andrews.
Roll, flip it.
That was crazy, though.
He had the 2-point conversion in his hands.
Damn.
But I mean, at his age, Andrews may very as well be playing for his last big payday. Even with some trade rumors circulating earlier in the offseason, don't be surprised if he bounces back with
I ain't gonna lie, I could see the Ravens like moving off for Andrews and going with Light. He's younger. To me, Lightly played just as good as Andrews, bro. He played just as good as Andrews.
another
bro. Like, real
dominant
talk.
season and potentially replicates
Like-
his all-pro form from 20.
Like Isaiah Lightly could be a tight end one on every other team. I promise you.
2021. That is going to be a little bit tougher though, as Andrews is going to be sharing targets with Isaiah Likely, which may complicate that return to form. The former 4th round pick has improved year on year, becoming a major factor in the Ravens offense. Likely is also playing on the last year of his contract with plenty to prove. He certainly possesses the qualities to be a tight end one somewhere, but
Yeah,
will
just like
remain
I
second
said, bro,
fiddle to
nigga, no
Mark
sports.
Andrews,
Ain't
so
what you
as
gonna be
long as they're
talking.
both under contract in Baltimore. And yes, while making the decision of who to pay and who to let walk is certainly inevitable, the Ravens offense will remain a lethal red zone threat at all times,
He
with
just
Andrews
keeps
and Likely
doing,
playing
he
at the
keeps
top
doing
of
that.
their game. In 2024, they were far and away the most efficient offense in the league, scoring on nearly 78% of their trips to the red zone, with a whole 8% more than Cincinnati in second place. And yes, of course,
with Fiverr, you can hire top-rated freelance experts in a variety of AI services. Alternatively, you could.
Of course, while you do have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely kind of trying to stretch the field and make sure that while Lamar Jackson is scrambling back there, that he does have an outlet to throw to, there is one more important cog that, well, we haven't addressed yet, and we all know who it is. It's Derrick Henry.
This man is a man-child. He runs over people.
I mean, it's intimidating.
I always say there's no king here.
This has been a perfect fit between team, culture,
I
and
ain't gonna
players.
lie, bro. When he first went to Ravens, I'm like, oh shit. Not only you gotta worry about Henry running the ball, but you gotta worry about Lamar putting that shit up and taking off with it. You gotta worry about two. And then the receivers they got, damn.
Every single time I see.
Because he was a big part in the running back resurgence in 2024, defying all conventional wisdom about positional value by posting
Think he almost rushed for-
1,921 yards and a
almost had
league-leading
2,000.
16 touchdowns at the age of 30. Although his deal was initially set to expire after the 2025 season, DaCosta and his front office elected to extend the veteran's deal by 2 years, spending $30 more million in the process. For most running backs, a decline due to age is a legitimate concern, but if King Henry proved anything this past season, it's that his greatness knows absolutely no bounds. The Ravens know how to take care of their guys, and they're definitely not missing the chance to have a future Hall of Famer and the best running back of his generation retire in the purple and black. And that's kind of the crazy part about this whole thing too, is that for many older Ravens fans, they're not used to having this stacked of an offense. Like, there are a lot of guys that are on this roster that are either entering the peaks of their careers or in that critical time of their careers heading into 2025. But that's the thing too, is if we flip to the other side of the ball, well, that's where the Ravens are.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these niggas got a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. Like, y'all don't have no weakness. Ravens don't have no weakness. That's why it's a Super Bowl of bust for y'all, bro. Like, I see this team like, I don't see no team fucking with the Ravens right now, bro. Probably the Eagles, Chiefs. I got y'all over the Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills, Lions to win the Super Bowl, bro. To me, y'all favorite to win the Super Bowl. And to other people, I know y'all favorite to win the Super Bowl too, y'all. Well, this team is crazy.
What the Ravens are mostly known for is just how dominant their defense is, and in 2025, it definitely is just as dominant as ever before. Even after losing defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald to the Seattle Seahawks head coach vacancy ahead of last season, there were big shoes to fill in the Ravens coaching staff. I mean, after all, Macdonald was something of a defensive genius, taking Baltimore's unit from average to elite in his 2-year tenure. Inside linebackers coach Zachary Orr was promoted to defensive coordinator, but the unit struggled in Macdonald's absence. They allowed the most yards through the air in 2024, which coincided with the departure of DB coach Denard Wilson to the Titans, as well as a loss of other key defensive pieces such as Patrick Queen, Geno Stone, and Jadeveon Clowney. The run defense did remain solid, but there were some serious tightening up to do in the second half of the season. And yes, while things did ultimately improve down the stretch, 2 clear needs emerged on the defense: help in the secondary and depth at edge rusher. And as with any prudent GM, DaCosta got to work on those 2 things straight away. First off, the Ravens released free safety Marcus Williams, who had failed to live up to the hefty 5 years, $70 million he was signed back to in 2022. They then followed that up by re-signing safety Ardarius Washington, who was a big part of turning things around in the second half of 2024. Unfortunately, Washington did tear his Achilles in May, which will keep him out for the 2025 season, which is a huge blow for the Ravens. DaCosta did opt to pick up Kyle Hamilton's 5th-year option for 2026, though, which will mean an $18 million cap hit, making him the 8th highest paid safety. And that's for a player who is easily in the top 5, even maybe you could argue top 3 at his position, which truthfully, that's a solid deal while they work out
Hamilton
the
and Starks
details
gonna
for a
be
long-term
crazy though. That's the
extension.
best
Elsewhere, they
safety on the league to
restructured
me.
Marlon Humphrey's contract to create $13 million in cap space ahead of the 2025 offseason, which allowed the front office to make some crucial free agent signings to complement a well-rounded draft haul. In the draft, in classic Ravens fashion, they got a steal at the end of the first round in Malik Starks, who is far and away graded as the best safety in the class until a dip in
One thing about the Ravens, though, no matter what he pick at 27, 28, 29, 31, they're going to find a good player, but why they be
production
doing it?
during his final season at Georgia. Starks was a beast in his first 2 seasons in Athens, earning him an All-American nod in his sophomore season. This saw him labeled as a future top 5 pick, which means a lot for a safety. But then in 2024, the Bulldogs deployed Starks in the slot on man coverage significantly more than they had in years prior.
It's time I tell you a story about the prince you know.
And he struggled to keep up with his newfound role, resulting in a statistical decline and significant
Then
dent
y'all
in
got
his
Mike
draft
Green
stock.
too. I
However,
forgot
I mean,
y'all got Mike
truthfully, it
Green,
is
but that was
impossible to look
still,
past his
boy.
remarkable
Oh my
tape
God.
and impressive output over the course of his entire collegiate career, meaning that come draft night, Malik Starks was the
Y'all got
first
LeJohntay
safety selected.
Wester,
With a
too.
stacked secondary around him too, Starks should have plenty of time to properly learn his role and ease into the NFL. Adding the sudden injury to Washington too, and Starks may have a pivotal role to play as a rookie this year even. The Ravens then got another great value pick in the second round, taking
Mike
edge
Green.
rusher Mike Green out of Marshall. Green's talent was never in question,
What a
but
steal
character
this was.
concerns loomed large throughout the evaluation process, which saw the 3rd highest graded player at his position fall out of the first round entirely. Despite Eric DeCosta's assurances that they are thoroughly evaluated Green's legal cases, the Ravens organization already sustained substantial off-field scrutiny earlier this year with Justin
Damn,
Tucker. So if
JT.
Green is able
I
to
thought JT
contribute
was
on
gonna
the field
retire,
long
Raven.
term
That's
and not
crazy.
cast further doubt on Baltimore's character assessment process, he will certainly fortify the Ravens' pass rush. In the
Yeah, he
3rd round, they
definitely
then
gonna help
took
them out,
Emory
sure.
Jones out of LSU, who won't be expected to start right away, which on the upside, Jones did block for Jaden Daniels for 2 seasons in college, meaning he's well adjusted to protecting an exceptionally mobile quarterback, an undervalued trait when your franchise guy is Lamar Jackson. Add to that the retention of Kyle
boy
Van
Cal.
Noy and Odafe Owehi, both coming off of career seasons, and Nnamdi Madubuike continuing his Pro Bowl form and holding things down on the defensive line, and the Ravens defense should be back amongst the best in 2025. The cherry on top of all of this, though, was the signing of Jair Alexander to a 1-year deal worth
Let
$4
this nigga
million,
go to the Ravens.
with another $2 million in very
I heard
achievable
Dolphins gave you a
appearance-related
contract too, but I ain't
add-ons.
surprised he
Alexander
ain't
brings
come
with
to
him
us though.
elite pedigree from his 7
not
seasons as
surprised.
cornerback 1 in Green Bay. And yes, although he has had injury struggles, Jair Alexander is
Yeah,
unquestionably
that's one thing bad about Jair, like his ability for him to stay healthy. But when he healthy though, well, that boy one of the best in the league. Boy, that boy a baller, boy, when he healthy.
one of the best in the game when he is healthy. Now reunited with his college teammate Lamar Jackson, Jair's intentions in joining the Ravens is clear. 2025 is Super Bowl or bust
Super
in the
Bowl or
city
bust
of
for these
Baltimore.
men.
And I mean, truthfully, why not? So many guys on this roster have everything to play for. And the fact, too, that the AFC North could be a cakewalk. Like, I mean, the Steelers are uninspired.
they win
The
the
Bengals
division for
have
sure.
no defense at
For
all.
sure,
The
no
Browns are
doubt.
the Browns. That's enough said. Truthfully, who else in the AFC can hold a candle to them talent-wise? The Chiefs will probably be shaken after their Super Bowl defeat. The Bills roster isn't anywhere near as deep, meaning it will take an up-and-coming contender to rival them for the AFC crown this season. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here, we are in overtime, and yes, it's the Baltimore Ravens we have to talk about. And I got my notes. You grab some popcorn, comment OT if you made it this far in the video, and as always, make sure that if you guys enjoy this, like, comment, and subscribe. But make sure if you guys want Discord talks, hop in the Discord we launched. It's going to be going crazy in there. We're going to try and build it up a little bit more for the NFL season, doing live streams, things like that in there. So if you guys enjoy talking about football, want to talk about football more, then make sure you hop in there, because we are going to be doing a lot more football discussion in there too, as well as on the channel over here. So first things first that we got to talk about, Lamar Jackson this season. Yeah, your boy is going to be on a damn mission to make sure they get a Super Bowl this year. I think truthfully, he even said it. I got it on my notes right here. It says that he said, and I quote, "I don't get over any losses," and declared we're going to bounce back. So, I mean, truthfully, The dude has been watching every single loss that they had this past
And
year.
I want
the
L to
narrow
get a
ones for
ring
sure,
though.
too.
That's crazy.
And he's going to be making sure that they're well equipped, and just he's going to be doing everything in his willpower to make sure that they can't be stopped. I mean, the dude literally, it's not even literally, the dude should have won MVP last year. No.
Oh yeah, he definitely should have won MVP. Like I said earlier in the video, he definitely should have won MVP. Though I don't know how he didn't win MVP. Like I said, he had a better season than Josh Allen, but along as L, how he played in the regular season to the playoffs, as long as he play like that, but the Ravens gonna be fine, bro. But it's up to L. At the end of the day, it's up to L. It's up to L. It's up to how L play. That's what it come down to. It come down to L. But that's pretty much the end of that video, though. The Ravens, boy, Super Bowl or bust for y'all. Y'all gonna win the Super Bowl this year? I got y'all like Super Bowl favorites. I really think y'all gonna win it this year, bro. Y'all got the team. Y'all got the offense. Y'all got the defense. Y'all got the receiver. Y'all got the running back. Y'all got the linebackers. Y'all got the D-line. But don't y'all lie. It's just up to y'all. It's up to Lamar at the end of the day. But yeah, man, that's the end of that video. If you here, make sure you like and subscribe. Oh yeah, talking to you. If you don't subscribe, you gay. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Yeah, nigga, you. You, nigga. Yeah, that's the end of that video, man. Yeah.